everyone, welcome back to Art This Week. I hope you've been enjoying your art lessons online. Okay, so today we are making this gorgeous sun that I thought might brighten our day. We had a lot of rain recently and I was hoping for the sun, and I thought this was a gorgeous little activity. So today with our lovely sun activity, we are learning about the elements of art. We're thinking about and learning about the element of shape. We've got the shape of a circle in the middle. We've got the shapes of the triangles on the outside and how they come together to make our artwork. We use repetition by repeating lines and patterns to create the triangles around there. And we talk about balance, making sure our artwork is balanced on either side. Okay, so I'm about to talk to you about your materials that you're going to need, and let's start creating. Okay, so here are our materials today. We need our glue, scissors, black texture, pencil, coloured pencils. We need something round to trace around. This container's excellent, perfect. You might use a sticky tape. That would be good to trace around. Something that fits on an A4 piece of paper, not too small, not too big, that you can also then get the triangles around. So have a think around your house. Maybe a small bowl could be good to trace around. I'm sure you will be able to find something that would be great. Okay, out of your art pack today, you need your blue and your yellow piece of paper. Some of you might have light blue and a different yellow, or some of you have dark blue, maybe an orange as well. So there was all sorts of colours that will create lovely individual artworks. Okay, so let's get started. We will start with our yellow piece of paper. Okay, we will get our tracer. Now I'm going to put that, we don't trace right in the middle for our circle. We're going to try and use the rest of the paper. So we need to put it up here, not nearly at the edge, but not quite. You could always ask someone to help you to then trace around the container to make a really good circle. Okay, that leaves us with this part to use for the triangles. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out with my scissors. Remember, practicing keeping our scissors straight and turning the paper. That will create a really nice straight cutting circle. Not turning our scissors, turning the paper. There we go. We've got our yellow. Now we've got this leftover part. I'm going to trim across here. So I cut this extra bit off. I don't need that anymore, but now I've got this. This is going to create our triangles. All right, now I'm going to fold this into about 3 pieces. What you want to do is make sure that it is big enough. This will create huge amounts of triangles, 3 of them. But when you put it on your piece of paper, to make sure it's balanced, that this is going to maybe pop off just a little bit, pop off the edge of the page, like my little rays of sunshine there. So have a practice on your piece of paper how big these triangles are going to make. Yeah, I think that will work, being that tall. If I put on here where I'm going to cut, doing some lines, this is going to create my triangles. I'm going to have heaps of triangles. Yep. So if I put that there, I'm just going to check. Yep, that works really well. Okay, now I haven't. Well, I need to cut these into 3 strips. So I'll cut down those folds to make when I folded it into 3. If you've done your circle a little bit lower on your page, you may only get 2, but you will still 2 strips worth of triangles, but you will still get heaps of triangles. Okay, you will not need all of these amount of triangles. Okay, so I've stacked the 3 up. Now I'm going to start cutting. I'm going to cut those lines, that line off there, that's a bit of rubbish there. Now I'm going to cut that one. Keep cutting so we get all these lovely triangles. Last one. Oh, this bit's the rubbish bit. I don't need that. Now look at all those triangles. I don't need all of those, but I'm going to choose the bits, the shapes I like the best. To do that though, I'm going to set up my page. I'm going to glue my circle on. Oh, got my finger as well then. Okay, and glue that into sort of the top. Not too high. You want to make sure all your triangles can get around. You could always practice before you just check to see if your triangles come off the page a little bit, that's okay. But just about there. Oh, I am going to press that down. So that's glued on. Now to make sure our sun becomes balanced, I'm going to place the triangles on before gluing them. I'm not going to glue, I'm going to evenly space them around my page as I'm picking out the triangles I like. And I'm doing side to side, opposites first, so I get a balanced artwork. There to there. And let's see, we'll get that one. And if it's got some texture mark or pen mark from the cutting or making the triangles, just turn it over. Okay, looks good. I'm going to change that one over because that's got a little bit of the triangle, not quite the corner cut off. Ah, there we go. We have a balanced artwork now. We've got our rays of sunshine and we can glue those on. Remember to use a pasting mat, making sure that they stay balanced around your page. Leaving that little gap between the blue and the yellow. Gluing them on. Oh, I was very happy to see the sunshine after all that rain. Okay, there we go. We have now got our lovely shape. We have got our shape of our circle and we've got our triangles around to make our beams of sunshine. We have got repeating those shapes around there and they are balanced. Fantastic. Now for some decoration. I've got a page of faces here. You might press pause when you decide on the face you like. My first one I had the sun, the bright eyes with the eyes turning to one side like he was looking down across the page. Okay, today I might do, I think I like this one with its eyes closed, with its eyelash dots underneath, and a nice happy smile. So use this if you like as an idea to get the eyes nose, cheeks and mouth. Some have cheeks, some don't. Some have really interesting noses, which I like to make them look a little bit artistic and different. Some cute lips down here and eyelashes on that one. They look fantastic. Okay, so my turn to do mine. Okay, the one I've chosen to do is the one with the eyelids closed, and I'm going to start with the nose to put that in the middle though, so it gives me a reference as to where to put my eyes. Smiling sun and an upside down rainbow shape for the eyes, the closed eyes, and then dots around here for the eyelashes. Just like that. Okay, so now we need to look at patterns, and we're going to try and have matching patterns opposite. Okay, so we balance our artwork. You can do any sorts of patterns you like. So I'm going to choose some patterns and have a go. What I do on one side, I'm going to do on the other side. So this side, I'm doing wiggly lines. So I'm going to do this and dots, and so I'm going to do the same on this side. Wiggly lines and dots. Okay, there's my patterns on. He's looking fantastic. Now, some of you may have noticed that I have got some clouds on my one here. You can do that too, but I will let you know I haven't put paper in for that one. But if you have a spare piece of paper, you can easily, a spare white piece of paper, you can easily do some quick clouds. I like to do it, do two at a time, where I fold my white piece of paper and then I make some wiggles with my while I'm holding my paper to create cloud shapes. And this is if you've got a piece of white paper that you could use to cut up. You can slip those in, sometimes maybe putting it behind a little bit. They're quite big. I might make 2 smaller clouds this time. Because we're working on balance, we need to think about how we're going to balance the artworks out if we're adding different things. Some 2 little clouds here. Sorry, that wasn't in view for you for a minute. I've got 2 little clouds, and I like them coming off the page a little bit. I might put that big one off the page and a little one on the page. That means we might, oh, can you see all of that? I hope so. Yep, there we go. So I'll glue those on, and then I'll just trim, if they're coming off the page a little bit, I'll just trim those off. Sorry, I know it's hard for you to see. I'll move that down a little bit. That one there, and this one I'm going to just have coming off the corner. Just like that. So, and then I'm going to trim. Because I was thinking that it was looking a little bit too big for my picture. I wanted to make sure the sun was the focus, not the clouds. Okay, so we've got lots of lovely things happening here. Now, to make it a little bit more interesting, we can add some pattern around the edges of the sun. You can add patterns all over the place. You can do that with textures, crayons if you have them, but if you're using the darker color sheet, I'm going to stick with the black for this one, unless you have a white of some sort. That could also look good. But I'm just going to add some repeating shapes in these gaps between the sun rays. It just keeps adding more to the artwork, giving it a bit more interest. I've done 2 lots of V's around there. Okay, the other thing you might like to do is add, for those that are still on there, we could add a dot and a line coming off the sun. Like, you can keep adding patterns. You might add a pattern around between the here. You might add some more. I feel like this guy needs some cheeks. I don't feel like he's got enough, so I'm going to do a circle here and a circle here. Then I think I might get a pencil for this one, because the cheeks, I don't want them so red that they take over the whole picture. I'm going to just use a coloured pencil. So I want you to think through your artwork as you're doing it. What is the best choice for your artwork? It may not be the same choice that I've made. You might have a different choice, and that is fantastic. But I want you to think about why you're making those choices, and what would be best for your artwork. I want you to think about how you can make it your own creative piece. Okay, so think about the patterns, think about keeping it balanced, and think about making it your own. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you again soon.